Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 9:03 p.m. on Monday, August 2nd, 2021. And I just want to show off the latest stuff that I got. First, I'll show off what just arrived in the mail today. Here, random tech. Yeah, I found this waiting in the mailbox when I got home from work today. If you recall, when I mentioned the stuff in the last video about the stuff that I got that I had ordered one other thing but had to be shipped separately. Well, it arrived today, and I was kind of surprised that it arrived this soon because the time frame given was like August through September. So it definitely arrived sooner than expected. In fact, initially I didn't even know what this was, and then I looked on the package and it said Hong Kong. I'm like, okay. Okay. So this came from Japan, ultimately. Bubble wrap, yay. Come on, where's the... Okay. And more bubble wrap. So, yay. This one taped too, yeah. Okay. All right. So, this is Gachaman, the live action movie. And yes, there was a live action Gachaman movie in 2013, I believe. It runs 110 minutes long. Um, Apparently, it's in Japanese and also in Cantonese, oddly enough. And it's got English subtitles. So it's a Japanese Blu-ray, but Japanese Blu-rays are region A, which is the same as North America. So I should be able to play this. I hope. There's even an English description on the back. It says, at the beginning of the 21st century, mankind was under attack by invaders. Within 17 days, half of the civilization was annihilated. Well, that's different than the TV series. On the verge of extinction, humankind's only hope against the invaders was the mysterious crystals called the stones. These stones empowered certain humans who were born receptors. Statistically, there's only one receptor in 8 million. After combing the land for receptors, the chosen few gathered to train as special agents. They would be groomed as the ultimate weapon against the deadly invaders. These modern day ninja, empowered by extraordinary stones, were called gachaman. So, no, I don't speak Cantonese. Okay, so this description is very different than the TV series. Um, if you don't know the TV series, it's from the 70s. It ran from like 72 to 74, the original series. And then there were like two sequel series after that. First series was like 105 episodes, and it's basically it's a superhero series about people that dress up in bird costumes, like these orphans or whatever, and they fight these bad guys from the Galactor organization, which, as it turns out, toward the end of the series, Galactor, or at least the leader of Galactor, is an alien. Um, But yeah, this backstory about the Earth, most of the Earth's population being wiped out, and uh, and these chosen few that are called receptors. That seems brand new to this movie. This wasn't in the. Basically, it was just these five kids that they transformed. They had these transformation things on their wrists, and they shouted like "Bird, go!" and they transformed into themselves, but their clothes changed into like bird themed costumes, and they flew around on a ship called the Phoenix. Um, there was an OVA remake back in like '94 or something like that. I've seen that too. But yeah, I've been looking forward to watching this movie. All five of the team members are here. They also had a leader, like a scientist guy named Dr. Nambu. I'm wondering if he's in here as well. Um, okay, so I look forward to watching this. It's less than 2 hours long, so assuming either my PS3 or my Ultra HD Blu-ray player, assuming either of those will be able to play it. Um, yeah. Oh, it's funny that you compare this to Power Rangers because you know how Power Rangers was basically an Americanized version of the what was it called, Super Sentai or something like that series where they basically shot American footage and spliced it in and they dubbed over the action scenes. Okay. Something very similar was done to the original gachaman anime series. It has kind of a complicated history of coming to North America. It originally came over here in 1978, which was the year that I was born, so I didn't see it until years later. But they adapted it into a series called Battle of the Planets. And when you watch the Gotchaman episodes and the Battle of the Planets episodes, like side by side, it's like, yeah, they definitely butchered it. A lot of the times, what they were saying in the original is not what they were saying on Battle of the Planets. They censored a lot of the violence. They turned a lot of the enemies actual like people died. Um, Also, Star Wars was really big at the time. So Gotchman, when they made the Battle of the Planets adaptation, they turned it into a big space saga. Whereas Gotchman was basically entirely Earth-based. So how did they do this? Well, they they took their ship, the Phoenix, and they're like, oh, it can fly into space now. It's a spaceship. So sometimes they would do this like they would create new animation like the English adaptation company, Sandy Frank Productions. What they would do is they would create some new cheap animation and show like the Phoenix going off into space. And then they would cut back to the Gotcha footage. And they would say, oh, we're on a planet, whatever. Except it's still Earth in the original Gotchaman footage. But they would call it a new planet, and they would be like, "Oh, and this other planet has humans just like Earth does," and yeah. Uh, Also, they renamed the characters, like June, the girl. Which one is she? This one. Um, Her name is June in the original, and they changed her name to Princess, as in Leia, you know. The leader, whose name was Ken, they changed his name to Mark, as in Hamill. You see where I'm going with this. Also, the Battle of the Planets like title looked very much like the Star Wars fonts, and it was just very similar. Um, they created a new character, a robot that looked a lot like R2D2. Not completely, but it was a robot character living in Center Neptune, deep beneath the sea, and he was called Seven or Sark Seven. And mostly his purpose was to like exposit dialogue and communicate with the team. And basically, they just kept using his footage. It was a lot of the same footage, just repeated over and over again. Just him hanging out in his control room or his base or whatever. Basically, whenever they had cut out violence from Gotchman and they had to fill up the running time, they used Sark footage. And basically, he had to assure the audience that no one died and that, oh, the robot fighters are on their way, but, G-Force will handle them. Yeah, they renamed Gotchaman to G-Force to explain the G in the logo. And then later on in the 80s, they adapted the series again, except that instead of calling it Battle of the Planets, they called it G-Force, Guardians of Space. They kept in a bit more of the violence, but it had a lot of the same problems. They gave the characters stupid, really stupid names like Ace Goodhart, Dirk Daring, and stuff like that. And you couldn't have silence. Silence was bad. So whenever the music stopped, the production company would just pump in some like pulsing techno music, which is just to fill up the silence. You couldn't have silence. It was bad. Um, that didn't last long. It ran a few episodes in the 80s and then it was taken off TV. I think TBS showed the episodes eventually, like in the year 2000 or something like that. The way that I originally got introduced to the characters was Eagle Riders. This was in mid 90s, like I think 1996. I'm not sure. 1990 something dub of the second and third series. So it wasn't the original Gachaman, it was like Gachaman 2 and Gachaman Fighter. They did like a butchered, bastardized dub called Eagle Riders. And they renamed the characters again. And they were called like, I think June was renamed to Kelly Jenner or Kelly Jenner or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, that's my history with this franchise. But I'm looking forward to watching the live action adaptation to see what it's like. Um, okay, I'm randomly looking at these Japanese credits, and I see English text that says "bump of chicken." I'm curious as to what that refers to. Anyway, so now I'll show you the other thing that I got. And I got this 2 days ago, actually. Um, Pretty Little Liars, the complete series on DVD. Um, Now, despite what I show in my thumbnail, that's not the set that I actually got. I pulled that image off Amazon, and apparently they sell a different complete series set. Um, okay, I'll get back to this. To answer your question, yeah, I don't know why they renamed these characters so many times. Possibly because it was a different production company, like an American production company, in charge of each of these adaptations. Sandy Frank did Battle of the Planets. I think Turner did G-Force Guardians of Space. I forget who did Eagle Rider. Oh, I think it was Saban. It was Saban. Um, and I forget who dubbed the OVA into English. Oh, by the way, it's been thundering all day, so if I lose power, you'll know why. Um, yeah, the OVA actually renamed the characters as well, or at least some of them. I mean, June, they added an E to the end of her name, so June. They renamed Ryu to Rocky. They renamed Jimpei to Jimmy. Uh, Now Battle of the Planets renamed Jimpei to Kiop, which what kind of name is that? I don't know. But the Battle of the Planets did this weird thing to him where they changed his backstory. So instead of an orphan, he's a lab experiment. And he just basically talked in word talk tossed in like blah, 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 bad news. Blah, 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 blah. It was really annoying. Um, yeah, I've been a fan of this franchise, as I said, since the mid '90s with Eagle Riders, which I watched off TV. Um, and then I got into like Battle of the Planets and Gachaman in the 2000s. Um, so yeah. Anyway, uh, the theme song to Gachaman is really catchy. In fact, the theme song actually requires some explanation because I'm referring to what was initially the closing theme, which part way into the run of the series, they swapped the opening and closing themes. They switched their positions basically, so it later became the opening theme. But yeah, it's a really catchy theme song. Um, I got this because I had gotten my mom into this series. I never saw it before, but I got her to watch on Netflix because she was always looking for something to watch. And I caught bits of it here and there, and it looked kind of interesting. And more recently, I got introduced to Lucy Hale. Um, that's her, I believe, right here. Um, I got introduced to her through Katie Keene, which is a spinoff of Riverdale. It lasted one season. It was canceled last year, but I liked it. And then I watched a movie that she was in on Netflix called Dude, but I enjoyed that too. So then I thought I saw this in the store. I'm like, yeah, why not? Um, let's see how much was this? It's like less than $70 for 7 seasons. I'm not sure how many episodes total, but yeah, I assume there's like no bonus features or anything on here. Maybe the individual seasons have bonus features. I'm not sure, but these are in a box, and it has uh two cases inside it. One of them houses seasons 1 through 3, and the others are The other one is seasons 4 through 7. Um, and you got the individual season box art on the back. Um, Now, after I got this, I researched it on Amazon, and apparently Amazon sells a different set. It's like the box is thicker and it's got like different artwork on the side and stuff like that. Same cover image, but it's like different artwork on the side and everything. And apparently, I made the right choice by getting it at Walmart, like in the store itself, because there were a lot of reviews on Amazon that said the discs were scratched up or that they were skipping or they couldn't play. One person, I think, even said that one of the discs, even though it was labeled Pretty Little Liars, it contained episodes from a completely different TV series. So I don't know what's going on. I hope this one's okay. Um, Nothing feels like it's loose, like nothing sounds like it's loose. So I'm hoping it's okay. Um, Looking on the bottom, apparently, I mean, it lists the running time for each season, so I've got like a lot of stuff to watch. I got this solely for Lucy Hale, because I enjoyed her and Katie Keene, and I actually want to check out another series that she did. It aired on CW a few years ago. It was canceled after one season, but it was called Life Sentence, and she played like a cancer survivor that had made a whole bunch of poor decisions because she thought she was going to die soon. And now she has to live with the consequences of her actions, including getting married to some guy that she knew only briefly. So that sounds funny. And I had my mom watch that too, but I want to check it out as well. Yeah, skipping DVDs are really annoying. I haven't had much problems with it. I think I got like Superman Returns out of the Walmart discount bin. I think it was I think it was from Walmart. Or no, I think it was from the flea market actually. I picked it up at the flea market cheap, and it ended up skipping part way into the movie and I couldn't finish it. Um yeah. But that was used, so who knows what the previous owner did to it. Um yeah. I don't think I'll be doing reviews of the Pretty Little Liars episodes. I mean, I can if there's any demand for it, I suppose. If you want to see that, let me know. I don't have any plans to do it because mostly I think what I'm in for with this is a bunch of girls making stupid decisions over and over and over again. Um, at least that's what I think is going to happen. So, Superman Returns is the one with Brandon Routh, who plays Ant-Man in the DC, um, the TV universe. He was on like he was on a few of the series, I think, but he ended up on Legends of Tomorrow. Um, yeah, it was like a pseudo sequel to the Christopher Reeve Superman films. It used the same theme song. Kate Bosworth played Lois Lane. Um, yeah, it was an okay film, not that great or anything, but I think it's still better than any of the films that Henry Cavill was in. So, um, yeah, that's about it, I guess. So I mean, as I said, I don't have any plans to do reviews of any of these other series other than what I've already started on reviewing. But like, if you want to see like reviews of the Gotchman film or Pretty Little Liars or like his Dark Materials, let me know, and I'll review them. Why not? Yeah, he even reprised his role of Superman in the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover event. So that was pretty neat. Yeah. Um, so anyway, so I think that's about it for now. Oh, one more announcement. I'm going to be off from work for the next 4 days in a row. So I think I'm going to be doing some live streaming on Twitch. Um, I'm going to play some like old school RPGs on the NES. Maybe something like the Bard Tale or Zelda 2 The Adventure of Link or a Ghost Lion or maybe the original Final Fantasy, something. I'll probably do like one RPG this week, maybe another one next week. Yeah, so I don't know what specific times that I'll be on. Um, but just to let you know that'll be happening, and I will eventually upload those streams here. Um, I just thought it would be fun to get back into playing some RPGs that I used to play back in the day. I beat Zelda 2 back in the day, but only with help from Game Genie. Don't think I ever beat the Bard's Tale or Ghost Lion. And I haven't even played much of the original Final Fantasy. But anyway, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll do Dragon Warrior. Who knows? Anyway, we'll see. But that's it for now. So thanks for joining me. And yeah, it's 9:30 p.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.